Welcome to another edition of Watersense in the Home. I'm Eric Braun from the Town of Gilbert Water Conservation Office. We're in the bathroom of this Gilbert residence today because the bathroom is where half of the indoor water use occurs in the home. And the toilet is the greatest user of water in the home, accounting for 26% of your water use. The toilet also has the greatest likelihood for leaks, accounting for up to another 14% of indoor water use. Alright, for this project we need a various amount of tools here. The first thing we need is our set of pliers for opening up the lock nut. Another thing we're going to probably need is a set of screwdrivers. A flat and a Phillips head should do fine. We'll need a pair of scissors for the flapper. We'll also need a new flapper as well as the toilet fill valve. And to do the dye test we of course need some food coloring. We need a few rags also to make sure that we don't leak water all over the bathroom. Checking to see if your toilet is leaking is a simple task. Remove the lid from the tank and put a few drops of food coloring in the tank and then replace the lid. After waiting 10 minutes, just look in the toilet bowl for any of the food coloring. If you see the coloring down there, your toilet is leaking and needs repair. In many instances, a toilet leaks silently for months before it gets so bad that a homeowner finally recognizes there is a problem. By that time, thousands of gallons of water have been wasted. Today we're going to make two repairs on this toilet. We're going to replace the fill valve, and while we're at it, replace the flapper as well, because they can get warped over time and lead to leaks. The first thing we do is turn off the water supply to the toilet. It's a good idea to exercise these valves once per year just to make sure that they don't get too corroded and stop working. You really don't want to discover that your angle valves are broken when you have an emergency. Now that the water supply is off, we can drain the tank by pulling the flush handle. There will still be a bit of water in the tank that can be dried up with a rag. Now we want to remove the old fill valve. We do this by unscrewing the lock nut on the bottom of the tank. Usually this can be done with your hands, but you may need a pair of pliers. Once we get the lock nut removed, we can pull out the old fill valve. These float and arm valves were once very common, but now are becoming replaced with a newer type that is less prone to coming out of adjustment and leaking. I recommend looking on the website of the manufacturer of your toilet to find the specific flapper that they make to replace for your toilet. The wrong flapper can turn an efficient 1.6 gallon per flush toilet into a water wasting toilet that uses significantly more water. Flappers are very inexpensive, as little as $3, so finding the right one isn't a huge investment, but it can save you a significant amount of water. We pull off the old flapper over the flush valve and overflow tube. The flapper is the most common source of leaks with toilets. The rubber in the flapper tends to warp over time due to chlorine in the water, and when it warps, the seal begins to leak water into the bowl. This leads to that phantom flush that occurs when the toilet refills the tank even though nobody was in the room. We replace the flapper by sliding the notches through the holes in the flapper. We need to make sure that there is a nice alignment on the bottom between the flapper and the seal so that it's a watertight fit. If you've purchased the replacement flapper that the manufacturer of your toilet recommends, this should be just fine. Now that we have the flapper in, we can install the new fill valve. And let's turn the water back on now. Adjusting the water level is the other common source of water leaks in toilets. We want to adjust the float so that it shuts off the fill valve when the water level is about an inch below the top of the overflow tube. If the level is at the top of the tube, the fill valve may not shut off completely and seep water into the tank over the tube and down into the bowl. This is another silent leak that may never get noticed without the dye test that we performed earlier. And we're finished. Such a simple task as this is going to make a difference on our water bill, and we didn't even have to change our lifestyle to do it. For more information on water conservation information, visit us at our website www.gilbertaz.gov/water or give us a call at 480-503-6098. The Town of Gilbert offers free in-home water audits to all of our residents. That's a great way for you to find out just what kind of changes you can make to save some water.